it foggy outside. All the planes have been grounded. Ain't the fire inside? Let's all go stand around it. Funny, I've been there, and you've been here. We ain't had no time to drink that beer.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sandman podcast. I am your host, Brian W. Tosh, joined as always by our resident hack checker, Oliver Fullington.
Yo!
Our producer and co-host, El Hilo del Hack, Tyler Fullington, and the man whose stories got stories, the hardcore icon. He's got 99 problems, but bananas ain't one. The Sandman. Hack, how the hell's it going today?
Dude, I'm a little bit psyched today. It has nothing to do with sports. We're going to have a great time down at the wrestling store this weekend. You people got to check out this new t-shirt they made for me. Oh my God. Honestly, it's the greatest t-shirt ever made.
I absolutely love
It is badass.
the double-sided print Sandman shirt that Suplex and us are putting out. It is a fantastic shirt. The event that we're having on 12/21 is already going to happen when you hear this episode. We are going to have that put out as a podcast as well. So you guys are going to be able to hear the live Q&A we're doing down there at Suplex. But cannot wait for that event. And I know it's going to be awesome to meet a lot of fans of the show. And this t-shirt, like, seriously, it is a one-of-one out there.
Yeah, Hack came back from doing his, pictures and promos and everything for him, and he's like, man, that shirt is sick.
It is,
like,
dude.
I'm like, haven't you? I'm like, you've seen it before, but he goes, I know, but I saw it in person, and it's sick. It's even more sick.
It's freaking more sick in person.
No.
You guys are going to say the same thing, I'm telling you.
No, it really. I mean, I've seen it in pictures. I've seen the designs that Mike had for it.
It's good, nice, like, thick fabric, too, like, good, legit.
Oh, it ain't a shitty t-shirt like you would get like anybody else has made. Just the quality of the t-shirt is really nice.
Yeah, I cannot wait. Guys, definitely check out social media. We're going to be putting out a lot of videos and pictures from the event on Saturday, the 21st. And
We might even be live at some point there, so who knows?
okay, yeah, check us out for social. We might be live on our
What's the
social.
name of the wrestling store? They might go live on YouTube.
Suplex Vintage Wrestling. Well, this is going to come out after the fact on Monday, but
Yeah, but I thought we were going to do something live there.
Oh, we can put that on our social. We can announce it. We can just do something then. So
yeah, we can go on Instagram Live, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
so just wait around your whole Saturday for us, and we'll let you know.
yeah, in between college playoff games
Yeah,
and
Christmas shopping, your kids, don't worry about it.
yeah, don't worry about
Shoveling
that.
your driveway.
Focus on the Sandman podcast because you never know what's going to happen with Hack here, at Legend himself. And the storefront, if you guys have the opportunity, if you're ever in the tri-state area, if you're ever in Philly for whatever reason, it's really like a love letter to pro wrestling. Everywhere you look in the store is something awesome, whether it's the figures,
really is.
the t-shirts, the belts, all the memorabilia they have.
games.
The video games that they have on the second floor, it's fantastic. Like, it is seriously a one-of-a-kind storefront. And if you also...
Made by guys that love the business.
Every guy that works there loves
They just
wrestling.
love the business. It's great.
Yeah, it really is. And if you also have the chance down in Florida to visit their storefront
In Orlando,
where Chris is, it is absolutely fantastic from what I've seen in photos and videos down there in Orlando as well. So if you're down there in NXT or if you're visiting Orlando ever, take a trip down, see Suplex Vintage Wrestling in Orlando as well, because it's a fantastic storefront. So can't wait for this event.
Yeah, it's a wrestling. If you're a wrestling fan, then there's no reason not to go check this place out.
No, absolutely. Hack, I got to ask you about the Birds, man. Another Eagles on Sunday. Another great victory.
Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
I listen to Ollie now.
Well, big rip there. Big kind of
But Ollie has been saying, I gotta put him over for this. Like 5, 6, 7 weeks into the season, Ollie's like, we won. Doesn't matter the bullshit. Dudes, we won. We were all kind of down a little bit, you know what I mean, on the way we were winning, because we saw it last year what happened, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like maybe we're all waiting for the trap door to freaking spring, you know what I mean? But Ollie's like, we're winning. Who the freak cares?
And that drive at the end in the
10-minute drive.
Oh my God, that's just like, it shows you what this team is. They're well aware of what they are, and it's running the ball, it's line domination, and it's controlling the ball, and it's just an amazing team to watch right now. I'm super stoked about it.
Dude, to me, it just goes to show you, as soon as they decided to go for it on 4th down and kick the field goal, and we stopped them, momentum changed in the game.
Yes.
They could have took the lead with that field goal.
Yes.
You know, so just like a momentum thing, you know?
And that penalty on Washington when he was blocking, what's his name, Slay outside of the end zone, and then they had a little, they had that little fight. That kind of like was like the momentum switch in the game there. But
yeah, there's a couple.
And the fumble.
The fumble was huge too.
Yeah, the fumble was
huge.
huge.
The fumble changed everything.
Yeah.
Well, they're going in possibly scoring 7. Fumble, then we go on a long drive, score 7 ourselves. They get the ball back, then they punt and never see the ball again.
No.
They had two possessions in the second half. I was watching the Hard Knocks, the AFC North like in-season Hard Knocks, and Russell Wilson was like, "I've never been part of a game where I've only had 2 possessions in a half." Like,
and they had -2 total yards in their first 3 or 4 possessions in the game.
Yeah, they had.
We dominated that team.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, the defense stood, and we had 2 critical fumbles too in the first quarter.
One at the 50-yard line, Jalen's. I was on the plane, but
and then we stopped them, got a 3 and out. They punted. We fumbled the punt. Cooper DeJean fumbled the punt and basically gave them, and they held them to 3 points there. So,
dude, that wasn't that series like 1st down, all right, 1st and 10, all right, 1st and 20, all right, then they gained like 8. It's like 2nd and 12. Then the next thing you know, it's 2nd down and 25. It was just like play penalty.
That's when the personal foul happened too with the fight and everything, and then they got like a holding, and we held them to 3 and everything like that. But that whole game, we controlled. No matter how you look at it, we just controlled the entire situation. Even when it was only 17-13 at halftime, we controlled that entire situation throughout. So, listen,
if we do this again to Washington this weekend, dude, we're the best team in the league.
The Bills.
If we do this again to Washington, I'm telling you, dude, we can easily be right there with the best team in the league. And I certainly don't think it's Detroit anymore just because of their injury situation.
So many guys injured on that team. The people that they're starting on their defense.
Like, I want to beat them, but like that sucks for them, dude.
The Bills lost to the Rams, and the Eagles handled the Rams.
I know, Ali. I agree, but
the Bills' defense can't stop anybody.
I know. They've given up, like 90 points in the last 2 games, something ridiculous.
And I think the path in the NFC might be easier than it is in the AFC as well.
I don't know about San Diego, KC.
That's what I mean. The path in the AFC seems a little tough. Ravens as well. So
yeah.
I don't know. But we'll see, man. We got the game against the Commanders. That will happen the day before this comes out. So we'll see how the Eagles do against them.
Honestly, the only team that I would legit be scared of is Tampa.
Tampa has our
their
number.
Defense is good.
Just because Todd Bowles knows how to deal with Jalen and it might just be in Jalen's head even at this point. Even if they're not that good, it might be in his head. We are the far superior team when it comes to roster and everything like that. But Todd Bowles does something to Jalen Hurts.
Ollie's poo-pooing it.
Well, dude, 2 of
Listen,
their
I
wins.
wish I could.
We got Saquon now.
Yeah, but they also
earlier this year we lost to them.
But they also beat Detroit this year too.
We didn't have
Brown was out.
Devontae, AJ, or Lane.
Lane was out as well.
I mean, and our defense got shredded that game, and it's a completely different defense than it was back then.
It's all about staying healthy. If this team can stay healthy, I think our expectation. No, I'm saying it because that ultimately is what it is. If we can stay healthy, I think this team.
But that Tampa Bay team also shut down Detroit Lions too. Isn't that their loss? Was that their first loss? They shut that thing. Pretty sure they shut down Detroit.
Early in the that was like week 1 or 2.
Well, yeah, because they ate week 1 or 2.
It was week 2.
You know that D coordinator knows his shit.
It'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see because I've been talking about I hope they get a loss, but now I feel like they dealt with the adversity of a loss after the Panthers game, even though they won the game, and then the whole AJ Jalen shit came out, and then they came out on the other side and beat Pittsburgh pretty fucking handily. That's I consider that like turmoil almost like a loss. Like they look deep inside themselves, came out in the passing game, which they said we couldn't do, and Jalen came out and had like 290. So now I don't have any problem running the table, and we're going to need to in order to get the number 1 seed, and we're going to have to get some help.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there was a loss there, it was either going to happen in the last possession of the Carolina game. Thank God Slay had the interception, right? Or it would happen against Pittsburgh.
Against Pittsburgh. So now it's yard out. Let's move. Like, we're full steam ahead, and hopefully we can get the 1 seed because, dude, that week bye, I think that week bye with considering we had an early bye week 5 can help us out. Like, just give us some rest.
Yeah, see, you know what our problem's going to be Minnesota. Because Minnesota is going to beat Detroit the last game of the season.
You think?
The way Detroit looks right now.
Well, it depends. Because if Detroit... We need Detroit to win lose one of their next 2 games. Because if they don't, the game against... They will have the division locked up against Minnesota, and Minnesota will have no reason to play their starters in that final game.
It won't matter.
Because if you ain't winning the division, you ain't winning the number 1 spot.
Right.
Good point.
So
And you're going to be locked in at that 5.
The 5 seed. So they'll have no reason to try and beat Detroit in the last week. Probably rest their starters for the following week.
So Barkley's going to have how many yards against the Giants the last game of the season?
We'll see. I mean, he's got a ways to go for the...
So we need the Lions to lose to Chicago this week or the 49ers next week, which I think the 49ers can, with all Detroit's injuries, I think the 49ers have the capability of beating them.
Yeah.
So we're Bears and Niners fans.
Yes, we are.
I fucking hate myself for saying I'm a Niners fan.
And didn't the Bears almost beat KC a couple of weeks ago, and they missed a field goal at the end? Was that
They almost beat Detroit. They almost beat Detroit at Thanksgiving, but then they
Eberflus ended up getting fired after that. He did such a bad job on the 2 minutes.
That's the game I'm talking about. They could have. Oh man, if they won that game,
dude, they were 4-2. Chicago was 4-2. They've lost 8 straight games.
Yeah, they're in the mud. I was so happy.
But their defense was playing well. Chicago.
They have a good pass defense.
It's been okay. They just got no offensive line, and they're just things haven't gelled with Caleb yet.
Yeah, they can't protect him worth a shit.
I'm so happy that both Brown and Smith were so involved in the game on Sunday, especially Brown, with all the drama going on. Like, he went out there and just did his job and had a great game, like an AJ Brown kind of game, and it was just great to see him.
Did you play him single coverage man on man? That slant is easy pickings.
Well, they're saying that's what they're going to do this week with their dude. They're gonna one-on-one. Yeah,
it's Lattimore.
Right.
Yeah,
dude.
I'll take AJ. I'll take AJ Brown
on a 7-yard slant. What are you kidding me? That's what his touchdown was. The touchdown in the game.
Everyone's all hype about it because last time AJ and Lattimore had a battle when we played the Saints, and
I love AJ Brown.
Oh, that's right. He's over the Saints now.
Yeah,
how did that go? How did that go, Lattimore and AJ?
He didn't. I don't think he didn't play against the Saints.
Yeah, he was out. It was earlier in the year.
That was when
them.
Goddard went off.
Yeah, he had a huge
I'm talking
game.
about like last year.
Oh, last year.
I got you.
Or like the year before.
Yeah,
I don't really remember.
I'll
that.
take
play the
AJ.
Saints 2 years ago.
I'll take AJ against that.
Well, we haven't lost a game since September, so we're
Hey,
riding
the
high.
Phillies have lost a game.
Oh, I was just saying.
I heard that same stat. Yeah,
I heard that stat. Yeah, the Phillies have lost a game more recently than the Eagles, which is crazy.
That's nuts.
Yeah, that is wild stuff there.
Fucking Phillies. Yo, go sign somebody. Do something, will you?
Yeah,
Phillies?
do something,
Jesus
please,
Christ.
please. We haven't done anything, and then Soto goes to the Mets, and
And our rookie of the year, Jared McCain, blew his knee out.
Yeah, and we had
We need Scherzer.
Oh wow,
Is
okay.
he a possible pickup?
I mean,
I think he's
are
on
possible.
Texas.
Yeah, people are possible,
Or
but I
somebody.
haven't heard rumblings of that. I mean, we're trying to shop boom to everybody, and it looks like nobody's biting on that. And I mean, you just saw a couple. You saw Kyle Tucker go, you saw Bellinger go, you saw some moves being made, and then the Phillies have done nothing besides the one reliever.
Pete Alonso's still out there. Bregman's still out there. Christian Walker's still out there. There's still some people out there. It
makes no sense to me that nobody wants Baum. But then they said, weren't we going to do a deal with Texas, but Texas didn't want to do it because of Baum's defensive at third base?
Houston?
Whatever,
Yeah,
Texas,
yeah,
Houston.
I
We're going to
think
do a
Houston.
deal, but they're like, nah, Bob's not a good enough third baseman for us.
I think people are just down on him in baseball across the
Well,
board.
dude, the whining crybaby, it was so crazy. One turn during the game, I looked over to Ty and I was like, did his wife just break up with him? And he was getting ready to say the same damn thing. Dude, he looked like he was going to cry in the dugout.
Yeah, we'd be up like 8-1, and he'd be 0-4, like crying in the dugout because he just struck out. Like, you got to grow up, dude. You're like 28 years old. Like, come on, man. You're
He had a
major
hell of a
league
year if you really think
Well,
about
he
it.
had a hell of a
great year.
He had a hell of a year till August, and then he fell off.
Well, he got hurt.
He
Didn't
did.
Yeah, he got hurt.
A
And he
hand injury or whatever
Yes.
it was.
Yeah, he got
that's a
hurt.
good
He was
point,
leading the
Ty.
league in doubles, leading the league in RBIs. Like, he was on
was
his way.
crushing it.
Like, yeah, he was killing it. And I still think he's a really good hitter. It's just, I need my 6'5" third baseman to hit home runs, and he hits like 12 a year. So
Yeah. Well, we'll see, man.
You put him on the right team and you bat him third, he could be like Tommy Herr, for St. Louis back in the day when he led the league with like 125 RBIs batting third.
dude, he's great. He doesn't strike out much. He loves right center field.
Ozzie Smith, Willie McGee hitting in front of him. Dude, I had 125 RBIs.
I wasn't expecting the 80s St. Louis Cardinals talk from you, Hack, but that's your...
Well, no, but that's the best. That Tommy Herr had the best year of his life that one year, dude.
That's impressive.
What a team!
Impressive pull by you there. On the show this week, guys, we are reviewing WWE's Saturday night's main event. This is part of their new deal with NBC Universal to air a couple of these each year. And, Hack, I got to ask you, as a fan growing up in the 80s wrestling, do you remember when WWE's original Saturday night's main event were on the air, and any memories of watching those shows?
Yeah, dude. I was watching. If it would have came on like 10 years before, I wouldn't have been watching it because I never would have been home on Saturday. But I had kids at that point, so I was home every Saturday night basically.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was cool. I was even pumped up. I got a little goosebumps when Jesse came out with all the.
He called it like the Jake the Snake fit later when he got on commentary and.
Yeah, and then and I remember one of the first things he says is something. One of the first things that he says about something is somebody's like a one-legged man in an ass kicking contest. I ain't heard that say in 100 years.
It's a great line.
That just brought me back.
Yeah, we'll talk more about Jesse when we get to the main event, but it was so cool seeing him come out and get a nice reaction from the crowd. He came out with Joe Tess, who I absolutely love. Like, I don't know, you guys like Joe Tess as an announcer? I think he's fantastic. I'm like a big fan of Joe Tessitore because I'm used to hearing him call fights and college football games and Monday Night Football. And when you have him involved doing wrestling, it gives it it brings it up a little bit, like a level of professionalism to the broadcast. And I'm a big fan of the work that he's done on Raw and on these shows as well. When it started to be an announcer,
I loved it when he goes to Pat McAfee. Dude, are you blown up?
Oh,
no, that's Michael Cole.
You're
Yeah.
talking Michael Cole. You're talking Michael. Yeah, that was a great.
That was hilarious.
when McAfee did his entrance.
Yeah, he's like, I know you're blown up, but what are you going to say?
He even laughed at it.
Yeah.
McAfee.
So the show itself, we'll get to it here. It was cool that he was back on NBC and everything, but
I was pumped to hear McAfee come out because he does it's funny when I'm listening to a match. It's like I don't really hear the announcers much.
you say that all the time.
You know what I'm saying? But Pat McAfee, I hear for some reason.
Well, you're a big McAfee mark. I mean, so maybe that's part of it. You're a big fan.
But it's also the same with if I'm watching a game and it's not Tony Romo or freaking or Brady doing the commentary, I don't hear much. You know what I mean? But those guys I hear because they played the goddamn game and they were one absolutely great at it and one
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. If you're a real player, then I'll listen to you.
Okay, there you go. If you're a real player, Hack will listen to you guys. The show started off with Drew McIntyre taking on Sami Zayn. So this feud is because Sami's aligned with the bloodline. Drew McIntyre came back and kind of laid him out, and we got this match. I mean, what did you guys think of this match overall as a work, Ollie, for this match here?
I mean, it was okay. It was a little bit... I don't know how to put it. Like...
Been there, done that, seen it before.
Not that. It felt like kind of rushed.
Totally, and I thought that was I thought that vibe for most of the matches on this show.
Yeah.
I know you were trying to condense a lot in that 2-hour window, and it just, a lot of it seemed to me like, could have used another maybe section or two or something. And a lot of things just felt kind of short and missing on there. And it's not like anything in this match was bad. Like, they got off to a really hot start. They did a bunch of cool spots with some springboard off the top, and I liked when McIntyre threw Zayn onto the commentary desk, and anytime McIntyre just has an intensity to him right now as a character, and it's believable work, and I think that's something that we always look for in wrestling that I like. And Ty, I know you weren't the biggest Drew McIntyre fan. How has his run that he's had over the last year, and your opinion, changed a little bit on him?
He's been doing well. I think his work has been, really good the last couple times I've seen him and all the big things that he's done. He's a hell of a worker, and he's working with the best of the best, and, he'll shine sometimes and other people shine. For this one, Ollie, like you said, rushed a little bit. The Claymore, Haluva kick, the fakes, whatever, it looked more like a choreographed dance to me than it was a wrestling match. And I know that's how WWE is a lot of the time, but it just turned me off a little bit. It was fine. It was fine. It just I just see that choreographed thing and I hated the finish. I
didn't care for the finish either.
I
really didn't. You like Hacks over here? If you guys could see Hacks' face.
See, you guys are. This is so weird because I know things are going quicker because I know the situation that they're in. You know what I mean? It's not like we're watching a pay-per-view from Riyadh when there's 5 matches. You can go out there and work for an hour if you want. You know,
I'm not going to ding him that much for that. That's fine.
I know that's happening, but I also feel that it helped out the matches a lot, where there wasn't so much slow bullshit, nothing happening in between spots, and it kind of follows.
That's a good point.
It kind of follows throughout the crowd for me, and especially with these two, I've seen it. You know what I mean? I've seen it before, so I was like, oh shit, they just went home already.
I wasn't expecting it. Yeah, I was definitely caught off guard, and that might have been part of why I disliked it, because I didn't really think of that aspect. But the whole him. I love how MJF started the whole somebody's going to hit a big move and they roll outside the ring now. You notice if everybody does that now? And they wants everybody.
It's great heel stuff.
Right. Once MJF started doing
it's
it,
so funny how nobody else ever did that before. It's weird.
Right. It's
why wasn't that a thing in wrestling?
Right. I could avoid this. Okay. Sure. I'll do that.
It kind of was. It used to be. That's why I think MJF started doing it again. He realized nobody was doing it again and started doing it. And then he chases him out and comes back in, and it's like, boom.
How long did this match go, Ollie?
10 minutes.
So it was quick, and
I'm not really saying
they had a commercial break in there too.
Time of it, a 10-minute match is fine.
Right.
It was just all the moves, and it didn't really seem like there was any breathing in the match.
Right.
A 10-minute match is fine.
What were we gonna say?
One is on Oliver's point. But there wasn't. That's the thing. There wasn't a long heat section. You know what I mean? Where a guy should have to fight back up from it and stuff like that. It was more back and forth. And to me, MJF seemed like was he doing another change in character? It's I know his outfit had the dreidel.
Are you talking about last night's Dynamite now?
Oh yeah, sorry.
No, it's okay.
I just mentioned MJF in his head.
He ran to MJF. He sees.
Went with it. No, for me, I just think it's
MJF.
I just think the booking's not smart because I understand that you are trying to set up these huge angles to almost culminate in the big new Saturday night's main event show. It's supposed to culminate in there, but that's too big of an angle to have it end like that. You know what I'm saying? To have a finish like that, to have an ending like that. I just thought.
Well, didn't he just throw him into the ring and catch one?
Yeah, and that was
right.
And that was it.
Well, Sammy was going for
he
something.
avoided the haluva kick, and then he came back in the ring.
Drew
and
rolled out of the ring. Did the MJF roll out of the ring?
Okay, yeah.
Sammy went and chased him out of the ring, and McIntyre dove back in. And as soon as Sammy came back in, Drew hit him with his kick, and that was 1, 2, 3.
That's why I loved it.
So I it was a little anticlimactic for the angle that you were pushing. I feel like.
Well, I don't know. The whole show's kind of like that, dude. They're
Right.
under a time constraint right here. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well-
I just think it was kind of pushed a little bit hard. You can't push something that hard when you know you're going to be under a time constraint.
My question there, Hack, is maybe if you shaved one of these matches and allowed the work to go a little bit longer in each. I think.
No, I liked it.
Okay.
I got great finish because there wasn't so much bullshit in the match. You know how their pay-per-views are. There's 5 matches, but geez, the match is 23 minutes is a little bit too long for me for most wrestlers.
And there's 10 finishers with 10 kickouts, and
Yeah.
I agree with you on that aspect of it. I just think it was kind of it was used wrong. Like it was just used kind
opening
of
match.
wrong. Yeah,
and you got to understand those guys too. They want to put something out there that guys can go bing, 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 bing. Guys that know their shit.
Right. Hit
You know
your
what I'm
time
saying?
cues, hit everything.
Yeah.
For a match, for the finish, everything with the match, I'll go 2.5 stars on it. Ollie, what do you give this?
I'm going 2.
2?
Yeah.
Hack?
I'm going 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
Yeah, I think the work and everything.
Yeah, I'm
was
not
I
hating
think
on
the
it.
work was good. I didn't like the finish, like I said, but I think it was 3 for me. Still good, good match.
Yeah.
Kind of remind me of old WrestleMania when, there was like 10, 11 matches on the card. You know what I mean? And shit just moved. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's why I liked it so much.
Yeah. I mean, like older wrestling matches were shorter because they would get a lot on the card. This you only had, 5 or 6 matches on this card, so it wasn't like a ton. But they did. It's only a 2-hour show, so
5, yeah.
5, yeah.
And a 2-hour show with
Dude, I
commercial
would have loved
time.
for you to, next time, Ollie, when we talk about one of these, find out how much commercial time there is.
Oh, there's a guy on Twitter who's been recently doing all the amount of time wrestling and all the amount of time for commercial packages.
It's got to be 90 minutes of commercial.
Well, just look at all.
It's a lot.
Add all
It's
the
a
match.
lot.
5.
Yeah,
add
it's
all
a
the
lot.
match times up.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, but there's also fucking backstage shit too.
Well,
Yeah.
not on
You know what I'm
Saturday.
saying?
I'll send you
Saturday
guys
night
this.
or what?
I'll send you guys this
I'm
Twitter
saying-
account. They put up the amount of time that's actual wrestling and the amount of time that's video packages.
Actual wrestling time is probably like 27 minutes.
It's over that. Well over that.
Well, I'm just
But-
saying, Ollie has cage match up. If there's,
Yeah.
they're all match times. It doesn't have segment times. I'm just
Right.
saying, if you add all the match times up,
minus 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's how
have
you
the
get
rest.
that. Up next on the show was the Women's World
Yeah,
Championship.
work backwards instead of forwards.
There you go. Was the Women's World Championship match between Liv Morgan and Io Sky. So this match, I enjoyed this match. I thought that Io Sky is a really, really great worker. I think she's among the best women in the business.
I'm an EO mark. For
I am
sure.
too. I think she's just fantastic. And Morgan, I'm enjoying the character here, but there's something that, and I kind of felt it with the post match. It's just something like, do you think the Rhea Dom her issue is as hot as it was a couple months ago? Because I feel like it's cooled, and just with that face off at the end, I like. It's weird how there was so much heat in that program, and now they just like did a face off. And
Yeah,
it just,
but didn't
Well, I think the Rhea Ripley injuries definitely not helped the
That's
situation.
exactly what I was going to say.
great point, Ollie. Yeah,
Yeah, so that's like,
that's part of why it's
yeah,
cool.
that's just like the bump in the road that you're just gonna have to deal with because you can't just go away from the story completely.
Right.
So
But-
it's like, all right, we're just gonna have to.
Well, that and they
Go
had the
with it and
Survivor.
keep on
Yeah,
going.
they had the Survivor Series, like where they kind of recame and rekindled the whole thing, and then I guess you're gonna have your culmination at
Rumble or whatever.
whatever's yeah, that's
mean,
gonna be the
I-
ultimate culmination of
Did
it.
Rhea get a nose job?
No, I think it was an injury. I don't think it was plastic surgery.
I'm
as
just
far as-
wondering because that's a great cover for a nose job.
Totally would be.
Even I think it happened to Trish Stratus, and she made and I'm just saying names here, but I think it's happened to girls and decided to get the nose job while they were injured.
Well, they did say they broke her orbital thing, and she had the face mask on or whatever.
Orbital bone got broke.
Yeah, you
well,
beat
that-
over here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. B, dude, that'll screw you up, dude. That your eye can be like loose the rest of your fucking life if you don't get that straight.
Yeah, you have Bell's palsy in the playoffs, stuff like that. Yeah.
we'll stop complaining about Embiid and get to this match. With the face-off at the end, though, it's like Rhea really hates her, and to do just like a face-off to me was kind of corny. I did not care for that part of the presentation of this match.
I think you should have stayed away from it.
You should have stayed away from her.
If anything, show Rhea in the back watching the match after.
Or have her chase her off or something. Like, you shouldn't just do a face-to-face and not get physical.
They're just trying to get Rhea's face on TV and Saturday Night Live main event.
Exactly, Ty. Exactly. Get him out there, even though it's a face-off. And every time there's a face-off on, like, Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever, fucking, there's always physical action. Mostly.
And get a face-off for a video package, too.
For the new Netflix launch thing.
That's what it was for.
You're on NBC now. You're capturing a new audience. So you're trying to.
So you got to figure maybe there might be, let's say, there might be 10%, maybe 15% of people out there that are watching wrestling because it's Saturday night.
Right.
And you got to think that there's a lot of places in the United States that don't have 800 cable stations like we do. There's people in Alabama that got so many like rabbit ear stations.
Right.
Let alone, there's a lot of the country that's like that.
Or you think about people who just saw that, like, a commercial that Jesse Ventura is going to be on. And they might know Jesse Ventura for whatever reason, wherever. Could have turned the channel just because he was going to be on and you're just watching just because you're just watching.
Just for feel good. Like
whatever,
Jesse,
Saturday night,
Being on network, and obviously they lost the Fox deal, so they had network television for a number of years, but being on network television again on NBC is still a big deal for wrestling in the business. It gives you a level of visibility.
No, it's not.
You don't think being on network television is big?
Because network television isn't network television like it used to be.
It's not.
Network television is 32 million freaking stations here, 32 million here, breaking up the United States in a couple different spots, dude. Netflix is 380 million households.
Yes, but network.
Yeah, but
is
even
still...
you just said people don't have 800 channels like we do. So so network television means something.
It means something in the fact that there's people that'll be watching it only because they don't have cable hooked up at their house.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And they're going to get literally the rabbit ears.
Well, I think that's what he's saying.
I know, but network isn't like network used to be, dude.
It's not.
Network back. Well, Johnny Carson, all right, I'll give you a perfect example. Johnny Carson's show used to have 30 million people watching it every single night of the week. Now, the best late night will get 2.8 million.
Right. Everything is so splintered.
Well, there's less options back then.
Yeah, exactly. So network's not, like, that's all I'm saying, is network isn't the god that it used to be.
It's not, Hack.
But it works well for them in the United States right now. But nobody's picking up that NBC over in Europe, dude. That's got rabbit ears, or doesn't have cable, satellite, whatever.
It's just a level of visibility that you don't normally get when you're just cable. So it's still important to have, if you can get on network television, that is a huge deal still. Back to this match, though, I like Io Sky, like I said.
Had one great spot.
What, the moonsault on the outside? The springboard?
Who are we talking about? Io Morgan?
Yes.
Oh, the roll-through Germans.
Oh, that was great.
I really enjoyed the roll-through Germans there.
I honestly thought that Io was like breaking her neck, like breaking Liv's fall with her neck almost, like on the suplexes. I don't know.
Take care of it.
I know, but she was like
but you can't
breaking her own
release it.
neck.
That's what's so hard about it, because you can't release that thing because you're doing the roll-through. You know what I'm saying? But they're both so small. It's not like you're coming from, you're not coming from a 6'6" guy taking that bump. You know what I mean?
Did you ever take rolling Germans in your career? Anybody ever give it those?
I'm like, nah, I ain't doing that.
I'm picturing you trying to get up to like
from Budweiser, he was doing the rolling Germans himself. Down somewhere.
Oh, God.
Down a set of stairs into the club.
Yeah, right.
Right out onto the dance floor, kicking it to Michael Jackson.
The finish was Morgan hit her with the Oblivion for the pin. I thought that this was decent work, but nothing crazy good for this match.
Dude, I thought there was plenty of good spots in there.
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it. I'm going to go 2.5 stars on this one as well. Ollie?
3.
3?
Yeah.
You're going a little bit higher than the opener on this. You like this match?
Yeah, I like the match. I mean, I thought it was good. I mean, it's tough when you have girls in the ring that are that small, because it's tough to make everything look like kind of hard hitting. But I mean, other than that, I thought
even though Liv caught a knee hard.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
At least they put it over afterwards too.
But I mean, I like all the spots and everything made sense to me. So
Yeah, and it makes sense that Morgan retained as well. So the booking made sense to me.
Great finish.
Hack, what do you give it?
3.5.
3.5. Okay.
Yeah, I liked it too. You know, hard heat in the beginning. Iho was putting on Liv, and everything. What was the one spot?
And the pace was really good. Ali, how long was this?
It was quick.
Was 9 minutes.
I was gonna say very similar to the front.
Yeah, they
to
got
the
a
first
lot
one.
in, dude. To me,
Yeah, it was quick. It was hard hitting, hard heat in the beginning against Liv. Liv didn't have
not too many stupid girl spots.
very much offense. I wish the finish bump was a little bit cleaner, but
On the Oblivion?
yeah, I wish it was a little bit cleaner. But
No, it wasn't clean at all.
I
You're
know.
right.
I wish.
You're right.
No, I like the spot.
Yeah.
Like the spot itself,
Just wasn't
leading
hit.
into the finish. It just the bump wasn't clean, but I'll give it a 3.
Okay. Up next on the show was the World Heavyweight Championship match between Gunther taking on challengers Finn Balor and Damian Priest. So, again, man, this is like, we've seen this before.
100 times.
And throwing Finn in there, I was like, okay, it's kind of a new-ish wrinkle to this whole thing. But this, I mean, again, nothing was bad in this match. And it was also, how long did this one go, Ali? Was this 10 minutes?
11.
Yeah, I feel like every match on the show was 10 minutes, pretty much. It felt like that. But
Besides the main.
But this match, I mean, like, it was just okay to me. Like, it was just kind of there. I don't know, Ty. What did you think of this?
Yeah, it's like you said. We've seen it all before, just in a packaged a little bit differently. I mean, Priest and Finn have the heat, and then we've seen Priest Gunther. What? This is a third time.
Third or fourth, yeah.
Yeah, that we've seen, and Finn. I mean, Finn's a nice change up because he's a smaller dude and he can, do more things like coming off the top rope, fly. He's the bumper flyer for both of those two. But other than that, nothing special. I like the finish.
I actually did too.
Yeah,
I did like,
I like
the finish.
But shocked so far. Everything's clean. Like clean finishes. There was no interference, especially in this match, because if there was going to be interference in any match, it would have been this match. I'm happy there wasn't. It was clean. But yeah, the power bomb, and I got to give Gunther credit for double pumping Priest on that. He didn't get him up the first time.
I was worried he was going to drop him.
So was I.
I was really worried. I was like, oh no.
And he got him up for the second time. Boom, went in, finished Balor. So I like the finish. Just the rest of it was blah.
I like the ring, the step spot. I thought that was nasty. That was really good stuff. And Baylor hit a couple spots in this too, where it was like, okay, he's got a really good run of offense, and I hope that they give him a run. I feel like he hasn't had a run in a couple years now, even though he's been with this Judgment Day thing. I'd like to see him get kind of a big push.
He's been packaged in the tag team and like bunch thing, but that dude, he's a superstar.
Yes,
Finn Balor's a superstar, like straight up, and and the funny thing is like he's working in his lane that they're putting him in, and he's so good at it. But you can just tell. I mean, we've seen him in singles before. Like you could just tell there's just so much more.
Yeah, like
there.
him Omega or
Like-
him and Osprey.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Dude, he ran Japan as Prince Devitt. I mean, he's the original.
I'm sure he was great.
He's he's the original Bullet Club guy. Like, I mean, he can fucking go still.
And he's still just like doing like the tag team like group guy like move set. Like he's not deviating off of it. He's not doing everything that he can. I mean, he's doing his bread and butter, and he's still killing it. I wish he would break away. I wish he was the one that kind of broke away instead of like Priest. But I get why they did what they did. But
I thought the match was good. I just thought everything could have been like slowed down like a half a second, and they just could have let everything breathe a little more in between. But I mean, we saw a lot of 3 guys in the ring at the same time.
We did, especially at the start.
whole match,
which we normally don't see, which I liked about it. And I really liked I didn't dislike any spots that they were doing or anything like that. Like we saying, I mean, I know they're working on 2 hours, but I just wish everything could have been like you just let it breathe a little bit more, and I thought it would have made
Yeah, this one in particular, because it's a three-way, you wish you had a little bit... the funny thing is like, we love three-ways with, like, the fucking, like, all three of them being in the ring and shit, like, together, like, continuity, like, not just, like, separating it. But I feel like, once again, like I was talking before, like, this angle needed and deserved the time and space for that three-way, and, like, for them to, you know, do that.
I think if you gave this 15, we get a better match out of there.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
we do. For me, I'm sticking to it for my rating for this one.
Can I even say what I want to say about the match?
Go ahead, Hack. You can talk.
You're here?
Yeah, of course, Hack. What notes do you
That's
got?
fine with not talking.
Actually, I took a nap for a second.
Usually you
I woke up and Tosh was like,
What do you have here?
I loved Finn's hood when he came out.
Okay.
Priest, he literally did a backdrop over the top rope.
Yeah, that was wild.
My God, yeah.
That was
His
wild,
ankle
actually.
hit the one, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, he did a backdrop. I was like, oh, shit.
Dude,
It wasn't the sickest,
Doing
though.
that and then taking it on the steps. Man.
Yeah.
He had a match.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God, that backdrop over the top rope. I'm like, dude, where the hell were you?
well, Gunther didn't even have a chance to catch him.
No.
But he should know that Priest isn't flying far.
Yeah,
He should have been closer to the... Yeah.
Gunther's like 3 steps back from the apron.
He should have been closer,
because that's where his
yeah.
hip's going to come down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, oh my God, what a bump. And I love the finish.
The power bomb.
And I liked it that everything, I liked them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? I didn't need the extra 2 minutes. Because it's like we all say we don't like guys being outside, or guys, girls, whatever, being outside on the ring for like 3-4 minutes. But these guys had it down to probably like 30-45 seconds is the most that somebody wasn't being seen, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And they do the great camera work where the other guy's there, but I mean the people in the audience see him, but we don't see him, you know what I mean? Until the camera like pans over to the right. But yes, I love the match.
Okay, I'm going to stick to my 2.5 stars for this one.
Oh, and the Razor's Edge reverse.
That was cool.
At the end, I liked to.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, that was pretty decent.
Yeah, that was. Ollie, what do you give it?
3.
3? Hack?
3.5.
3.5?
Wait a minute, I gotta give this one a 4.
Oh, he's going up to a 4 for it. Yeah, the way you talked about this match too, I might go up to a 3.
I got fucking great.
Fucking great finish.
Yeah, I like the finish too.
All right, I'm going up to a 3. Hack, you convinced me with that.
Hey, before I give my rating, because I got the thought in my head before. Hack, it's like you're talking about, and like we're all talking about with the principles that we love. I wish they took these principles that they're doing in these matches, because they know they have such short time, and applied them to the longer matches, but just made them
As
fit.
in,
The finish. I don't. I like. I'm pretty sure I didn't like the McIntyre Sami Zayn finish, but I can understand why whether you
my favorite one.
whether why you did. But I feel like the finishes now, like those quick finishes, should happen in the longer matches that you're having, but they're not
Instead
doing
of
it
hitting
that
the
way.
guy 3-4 times with your finish.
Right, you're having, like, just because you're allotted more time doesn't mean that you should change up the way that it's supposed to be ran. You know, like, I feel like they should take.
That's a great point, dude.
I feel like they should take these aspects in the quicker time matches that they have and apply them to the matches that they have in the other one. That's all. And I'll give this match a 3.
Okay. Up next on the show, this was the finals of the WWE Women's U.S. Championship. So WWE is creating both women's Intercontinental and women's U.S. champions. And this is something that we talk about all the time, is that there are too many belts in wrestling. And if you have more belts, the other belts don't mean as much. Now, I understand why, if you're booking and you have a whole roster full of people, you might want a secondary title for people to chase. And the point I want to make about the women's title, they certainly deserve another title, I get it, but they don't even book the women's tag titles, right? Why would you make another 2 belts? Get the tag title belt in a better position, that division, and then worry about creating a secondary belt.
Because they don't have enough tags.
Yeah, but make tags then, because you got enough talent. You have a whole roster of people plus NXT. To me, it's like there's too many belts.
There's some NXT girls that should be right up in the main roster right now. To me.
Yes, absolutely. But there's it's not a lack of talent. I think it's a lack of booking on these in these divisions, and to make 2 more belts.
I know 2 more belts deserves 10 more minutes of 15 more minutes of airtime every week.
But maybe that means that those NXT women that you're talking about are coming up, and then there's going to be like a whole new crop, possibly.
Yeah, I'm not. Look,
That's a good point.
I'm for like secondary titles. It creates storylines.
The women have earned another belt.
I would have went with 1 more instead of 2.
Well, I like that, Ollie. And you have one show, put the tag titles on the one show, and put the secondary title on the other show.
All right, so how many hours of TV does WWE like? Is Saturday night? Is that every week now?
No, it's only a couple throughout the year. So
that's it.
Yeah.
So how many hours of TV we book in a week right now?
You got Raw for 3 hours. You have
Right.
NXT for 2.
Well, Raw's 2 until the Netflix move.
Then it's going back to 3.
All right. So yes, let's go forward to 3 there.
So you have 5 with NXT.
Right.
Then you have 2 more with SmackDown.
Right.
So you're at 7. If you
Okay.
have a Saturday night's main event, now you're up to 9 hours of booking.
So now you're getting to my point.
And Hack, you also get not every month, but in some months you will have both an NXT pay-per-view event and a WWE pay-per-view as well, which are additional 6 hours or so on there. So you're talking about a lot of content you got to make.
Yeah, that's a lot of booking. So I don't know. Let's count. Can we even do that? Would it take too much time? How many straps are really in that company?
Well, how many are in NXT?
That is,
how many are on the main roster? And is the 2 they just made main roster?
Two heavyweight men's.
IC, US.
Intercontinental, US,
4.
and tag.
2 sets of
5.
tags. 2 sets. They each have a set. There's a Raw and a SmackDown tag.
5, 6, but it could be 7, 8 if we actually count the belts. But we'll just go 6.
Now,
what about women's?
2 women's singles titles.
Right.
Main event for both.
Okay, 7, 8.
Intercontinental and US.
9, 10.
And a set of tags.
Okay, 11, 12.
And then we have NXT.
14 belts. but
Without
12.
even counting
it's
NXT.
it's 11.
11, not even counting NXT.
Okay. All right. Dude, that's a lot. Is that maybe why they're making the other belts?
But that's like, they mean less when you have more.
Well, no, they don't. If you got people that are good, they carry the goddamn things.
I was going to say, you have a lot of talent.
Right, you know
Everybody
what I mean?
else
Who cares if they're really good?
Everybody can't be vying for the heavyweight.
I know, but then...
But you can't have every match on your freaking Monday Night Raw.
a title match.
Well, I mean, it won't, because they'll always have other stupid stuff that they'll do, their comedy or whatever, with...
Titles just don't mean anything anymore. They really don't.
I agree with you. I agree with you totally, and I always have agreed like that. You know what I'm saying? But they're going to Netflix. You know what I mean? There's going to be so many more. All right, so now we have what's the belt the new ones that they just made for Riyadh? Do we even count them?
No, those don't count.
Okay, so they're just for there, right?
Yeah.
There might be 2 more belts for India, for Bollywood, and Bollywood is the Hollywood in India, you know what I mean? There might be 2 more straps that they go somewhere and they win them, you know what I mean? Netflix is opening up the planet to them.
Well, dude, I don't know if you noticed Elimination Chambers now in
Toronto.
And didn't I say like a couple months ago that they're doing every one of their pay-per-views is now in like a different country, and they're like completely fucking expanding like everywhere. So
Netflix, dude.
Yeah.
Dude, that company is going... Can you even buy stock in it now?
Sure you can.
What is it?
it'd be expensive as shit, probably.
It's I don't know. What is it, like 100, 130, 125, something like that? I don't know. Ollie, take a
I
look.
don't know anything about fucking stock.
I don't know. I might have to buy some now.
This match
The only thing I stock is shelves.
the women's U.S. title championship final between Chelsea Green
Green.
That chick is freaking great.
and you love her.
She is great.
She is
dude. She freaking has facials like you don't see. You have to go back to. I was watching it the other night because I always watch it late at night on one of those goofy channels. Edith Bunker on the Archie Bunker show.
Archie.
Her facials. She had the greatest face. She didn't have to say a word. She would do a facial and then go, oh, and then do another facial and do another facial. Dude, her facials are unbelievable.
Her facials, her mannerisms.
Lets
like
you know everything that's going on with her body right there at that point.
And I love Piper as her second too.
Did you notice anything?
Act.
Did you notice anything about that? Piper being
Piper's been on her Ozempic?
No, that Piper was out at the ring.
And nobody else was? Yeah.
The only match that somebody with
interference?
Because Dom and the other chick came out with Liv, but stayed in the back. They didn't walk to the ring.
They had those two security guys that would get in front of them.
The two Dakota Kai and the other one walked out with Iho Sky, but didn't walk to the ring. Went back out there. There was no people with Finn in the other match. Like, nobody was sitting ringside. Piper was the only one that was throughout the entire show out there with Chelsea Green. I don't know, thought it was a little bit, something I called like, why? Yeah. And obviously because she ends up being part of the thing, but...
Well, she was involved directly with the finish, getting up on the apron.
Right, but usually, like, Dom's involved with the finish or something, or whatever. I just found it interesting that she was the only one out of all the people that have factions or people that come to the ring with the other one that was the one.
Well, that's a great point, Ty, because what that does is when you just have the interference in one match, it makes it stand out and better than having run-ins and interference in every match. Have a bunch of clean finishes and then do your interference in this match, and
it becomes more memorable.
It becomes more memorable, and
I think it's also setting up those two to fight each other
down the road. Absolutely,
for sure. I thought that's been coming for a while.
A Piper Niven turn.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Chelsea Green gets
because Piper's like awesome.
She's good.
She's really good.
She's one of the best ones they got.
Huge in Japan and over huge in Mexico, like the Willow chick is.
I don't know if she did a lot of work.
The Piper girl, I'm pretty sure was over in Japan.
I'd have to look more into her background.
Yeah, somebody let us know that.
She was formerly known as Dewdrop.
Yes, Dewdrop.
What a terrible name.
Oh, is that right? Mm-hmm. No, but if you're from Ireland, that's not a bad name.
She is.
Or Scotland, whatever.
I did really enjoy Michin doing the tarantula. I'm a big tarantula guy. I've mentioned that before on the show. I love any version of the tarantula. That was cool that she had that early in the match.
It's nice.
The finish was Niven got up on the ring apron and she gave a distraction, and then Green flipped from the middle rope and hit an unprettier, which they called it that, for the pin. And then she is the inaugural Women's United States Champion, a Canadian woman winning the WWE United States title.
Dude, that move,
the unprettier. Yeah, she hit it
off
perfect.
The top rope.
Yeah,
flawlessly done.
Yeah, that was Christian's finish. It still is. But.
All right, Hack, you actually know a little something. Piper Niven, former one-time Artist of Stardom champion.
Oh, she was Stardom. Okay, so yeah, all right.
Japan.
Okay, Hack
there's
Hack's watching Stardom. Hack has a Stardom subscription.
No, I think somebody said it on listening to the announcers.
Okay.
Like a lot of you guys, if you're watching, you got a sports game on, you're watching the wrestling, you're not listening to what the
announcers. They had to have been somebody who'd done something because that's the only people you listen to. So it must have been
there's no reason I should really know that.
McAfee's a big Stardom mark. I had no idea.
So. I got Pat saying something here, but I can't read my own writing.
You got any notes on this?
I must have been shit-faced.
No other notes, Hack?
A great finish.
Yeah,
another great finish.
Dude, it was a flawless hit.
Well, but I hated one of the. I liked the eat the feet spot, but the one they missed totally.
They did.
Yeah, they did.
And
she sold it. She sold it like a motherfucker. But Michael Cole was like, she didn't catch it at all. And Chelsea's acting dead.
Yeah.
Like she's like dead. And I'm like, that's not. I know Michael's catching what he's saying what
that's
the camera
his job.
Yeah, right.
He has to save it a little bit by saying like, "Oh, they didn't get all of that one," or
because
something.
that's what you're seeing.
Well, and it's also the guy in the truck, which what's his name used to be so great at, Kevin Dunn. I'm pretty sure Kevin Dunn's the guy I'm talking about. That you won't show that spot again. You know what I'm saying? That's not going to be the 7 seconds you show before you go to a commercial. You know what I mean? You're going to show something that they laid it in. You're not going to show something like that.
Right.
But a couple of the other ones were nice.
Yeah, for this match...
I think I'm going to break it out. They eat the feet. I'm gonna be like, I'm not coming out to Kane anymore, Don.
You ain't gonna get back up. That's the thing. It's gonna be
I can roll onto the bottom row. Have a wheelchair waiting for me at ringside.
It's gonna be called Break Your Hip.
Yeah.
Yes. That was great. Good job, Ollie.
Hey,
I'm gonna give this. I'm
break them.
gonna stick to it. I'm gonna go 2.5 stars on this one. Ollie, what do you give it?
I am giving this 3.
3. Hack.
5. Chelsea's great.
Wow.
That
5.
chick is great, dude.
She is.
She really is. She's impressing the shit out of me.
She's fantastic. I think she's
But
really good.
the one thing is, she's just a little lanky. You know what I mean? She's got the long. She's just a little lanky. She's kind of like Flair is too. Flair's like a little because she's skinny. You know what I mean? She's like the lanky like that. But she catches up to her body easier than Flair does to me. And by saying that is taking a bump and getting to your feet. Who can do it faster?
Interesting.
Like me and you out in the backyard after this.
Roll around.
Who can get up faster from the ground?
All right.
The fetal off.
The fetal off. That's right. Yeah. Ty, what do you?
4. Just because
4?
I agree. Chelsea's awesome. The way she worked that match. I mean, Mishin's good as well, but Chelsea really, really worked that match well. It was a really good match.
Yeah. Up next on the show, this was the main event. This was the undisputed WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. Ty, you're right there, bud. You have a little data?
I know his biggest problem with this match. I know his biggest problem. Your biggest problem.
I got to ask you, Hack, first of all. Cody coming out with the Winged Eagle title. I have to ask you, Hack, as a wrestler, were there any belts to you that aesthetically you were like, that's my favorite looking title?
Yeah, the old AWA belt that Rick Martel had that was as big as they are now, but back freaking like 40 years ago.
The Bockwinkel,
the old
AWA belt. That's a great answer.
That's it, dude, because it was so much bigger than all the rest of them.
It was huge.
Dude, the WWE belt was like 8 inches wide, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like when Hogan won the first one.
Yeah, Bruno Sammartino had a belt that was puny.
Right, like they were like
that
the old
AWA belt went from the bottom of your tits to the top of your cock.
Do you guys have any favorite belts? Ty's laughing at that one. I love the WCW big gold belt too. That was one of my favorite belts.
The one that they had on SmackDown?
Yeah, that was the Smack, like the Batista title.
I like that one.
That one just to me is like, that's the world champ.
I love
like,
the spinner belt.
You're a spinner belt guy.
Belt.
Man, I couldn't get down with the spinner.
I like it.
I can't lie. When they first came out with the spinner belt, I was like, "That's pretty legit." Just because it worked with Cena so much, like
totally works with Cena.
Yeah, it was perfect. Like for when that came out, the WCW belt, I really do like. What was the one I was thinking of? I want to say it was like the old school cruiserweight belt was really like tight. Like the WCW old school cruiserweight belt, but I might be mistaken. But so move on.
No, look.
I'm trying to think.
Cody's rocking
I love the ECW belts. They're cool too.
They are cool as hell, especially like the old one that like you and your sister were just
that we bedazzled.
Yeah, like I love how it had like broken pieces on it and shit. Like I like that belt has a place in my heart.
We had like finger polish that we painted it with a little bit. The red. Yeah, I mean.
I like the Winged Eagle title too because, like, for me and my childhood, like that's the WWF title to me. That's the belt that like I identify WWE with the most.
I was just gonna say that is the WWE belt that I know. Like that's the World Heavyweight Championship that I know. Is it a great looking belt? I mean, not necessarily per se, but I like the fact that they brought it out, and it does. I mean, it still does mean something, I think.
And now with we'll get to the post match and everything afterwards. And Owen seems to be like taking it now and calling himself like the champion, and he's going to be defending it on the house show loops and stuff. So like, I don't know if he's doing an angle with this. They're going to have like a unification ladder match or something.
You just said you don't know if he's doing an angle. Of course, it's an angle.
Well, no, it's an angle, but I don't know the direction of the angle. Is what I mean by it. So Owens laid him out afterwards, and he takes the belt, and he's like standing on Cody and everything, and he brought it out. They had a Netflix event the other day, and he brought it out to that, and he's going to be defending it on some some house shows and stuff too. So I think it's building up to.
Was this like when the camera went off?
Yeah, so the camera goes off, and
I was just gonna say that
the camera,
and then he starts pushing
Triple H. Yeah.
So there's a reason that happens off camera.
To make it seem more real.
So, I know, but you got to watch it. It's like Triple H has he's KO's coming up the ramp. You know what I mean? And Triple H for some reason is coming down the ramp, but this is after KO just hit Cody with the belt and left him laying.
And his package pile driver, which he's never done in WWE.
And it's like, why is there's no reason at all Triple H should be walking down the ramp right then. He didn't walk down the ramp to confront KO.
Well, no, he runs the company.
On
That's for him to be checking on. Yeah, he's checking on the champion.
All right, okay. Yeah, when was the last time Triple H went out there and checked on any champion that was laid out ever?
That's the point. That's to make him look more real.
That's
the point, to make it more serious.
I believe that.
I think that's what they're doing it as.
Yeah, that's
as
if Triple H is coming out, this must be legit.
Kevin took
that type of thing.
Kevin hit Cody.
But they didn't put it over like that.
I think
it wasn't put over like that.
I'm saying
I read the Ross report.
Live in the arena.
Whatever.
What are you in 1999? The Ross report.
But the cameras are off. I'm talking about live in the building. If they see Triple H
you're doing that on, you see the cameras might be on, but when you're in the building, you're live in front of the people.
Yes,
that's what I'm saying.
They'll all tell everything.
So
Triple H is coming out for the live.
Yes,
gotcha.
The other thing I have to call out with this match, man, Jesse on commentary was awesome because you could tell he hasn't kept up with wrestling in 30 years, and he thought so many things should have been finishes. He was blown away. He had no idea what a near fall is now in today's wrestling.
He should have pinned him by that.
Yeah, Owens hit him with like a super kick.
Why is he wasting time?
Yeah, he's you could tell he hasn't kept up with modern wrestling, which was cool to me because it was fun hearing him. And I thought he did a really good job, especially of...
No, don't say it. The very last thing he said was the greatest thing that was said all night.
Well, go ahead.
Cheating on Cody.
Yeah.
Were you going to say that?
Yeah.
Fucking cheating on Cody, dude. I'm like, thank you, Jesse. Because nobody else would ever say that, ever.
Because he would say the same thing about Hogan. He would always point out, and because he's the... Jesse, for those of you, Ollie, you might not know this too. I'm sure there were heel commentators before Jesse, but Jesse really perfected and created the role of the heel commentator, right, Hack?
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm sure Bobby Heenan's got to be close in there. You know what I'm saying?
Similar time period and everything.
Yeah.
But Jesse really perfected it, and he would come.
Well, yeah, because nobody UWF didn't have a heel commentator.
Right.
It was more like you got your guy, you got your play-by-play guy, and your guy that knows a little bit about wrestling.
Right. But Jesse would point out things that babyfaces did that were like, hey, I don't like this guy because of this. And Cody using the chair for the finish it's a heel move. I mean, there's no other way to call it. I know he's getting revenge. But at the same time, that finish is
no. But that was the greatest. That was the greatest line of the whole show to me.
Me too.
You know, I'm like, all right, fucking Jesse.
And it's real. It's like you saw it happen. You see the baby.
Doesn't matter who introduced it.
Right.
It doesn't matter of any of that.
Yeah.
And he grabbed it and positioned it.
He did, and I thought Cody hit it like a perfect. I'm sorry, what the fuck is the name of the move? Why am I blanking?
Crossroads?
The Crossroads, yeah. I thought he hit it perfectly to get his head on the chair there for the finish. So I really did enjoy the finish and the commentary of the match.
Hold on, Ollie, did you say what you liked in this match?
I mean, I didn't really...
Was there anything?
I didn't really care for Cody going against Kevin Owens to begin with.
I hear that.
So it's like...
Honestly.
To me, I'm just kind of I'm not, my expectations aren't really sky high for it. I'm just kind of, all right, here we go.
Anything about Cody selling?
Let's go on with the Cody story.
It was very,
I mean, I hate it that you're working an ankle and diving through the ropes.
Thank you.
You pick and choose, decide when you want to sell the ankle.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's just...
That's horrible.
And you're leaping to the top rope, you're running back and forth,
Yeah,
you're doing
all the
anything.
time.
And then all of a sudden out of nowhere it's like, man, yeah, you're working don't even ask me, zero.
I knew that would be Ty's first criticism of it. Dude, I got Fisherman Top Rope something.
Yeah, that's that Owens movie does it.
That was cool as shit.
I like that move.
And Jesse called that too. Jesse was like, "That's gotta be." We all seen Owens hit that move in matches. He doesn't do it every match, and I wish it would be a finish because that's a fucking
Dude, that
awesome
was legit.
move. Yeah, it's a great move. I mean, that should finish some matches. Maybe not all of them, but it could certainly be a finish at any time.
And I got hating the finish.
You didn't like it. I liked it.
Even though I liked what he said, there's some reason, and I can't even remember exactly what happened at this point. Unless I got something in there.
Well, it was stupid. It was the ref. It was the ref down.
Oh, that's what it was.
The new ref comes in, and then Cody leaps off the
that's
ropes.
what it was.
And for some reason, the ref's in the middle of the ring.
Right.
So the new ref, and then Cody hits the crossroads on him, and Charles Robinson can't even get back in the ring.
No, he's on the outside counting.
So
That's
he
so
counts.
weird. Me neither. I've never seen that.
That's why I hated the finish. And to kind of what I'm thinking through the whole show is, all right, that's why they're not letting the people come down the ringside because you can't, you're under time constraint anyway, and I know that because I know it's Saturday night, whatever. So I know you're under time constraints. So I figure that's why the people aren't there because if you have shit that happens after the match, every match, you ain't getting in and out in 10 minutes because that's just the way it is. And then I figure, well, they're saving it because they have these new people that are going to be watching it, these new customers that are coming in, and they don't want to convolute everything so much. But Jesus Christ, that finish was convoluted, dude.
It was.
You kill if I was right about anything that I just said. Then that was the shits.
I like the execution of the move on the chair with the finish. So that part I liked about it.
The two refs counting. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I thought they were going to do some kind of screw job DQ for a minute, but I was like,
But they didn't even really need it.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Why don't you just let him lay him the fuck out?
You could have.
You know what I'm saying? You don't even need a finish.
Yeah, you could have easily done that.
Right. You didn't need to go to all that shit.
I don't know.
If you're going to put him over as a heel, put him over as a heel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Have him just beat the shit out of the baby and leave him laying there. There's no finish that's involved in it because KO shouldn't care about pinning him. KO wants to end his career. Make sense?
Yes, and he did leave him laying afterwards. So I mean,
exactly. So why not just leave him laying and not even do that finish?
You could have easily done that instead and done more of an angle than a match, and I think people probably would have been the same amount of
Kevin would have
satisfied.
got over more.
Yeah,
he definitely would have got over more. But that muddled bullshit.
I'm going to stick to my.
And who was the one ref that I'd never even seen before? The guy that started the opening match. Do you guys ever remember?
So he was the second ref in on the main event.
Yeah. I never seen that guy before.
I can't remember.
Unless
the ref.
he looked like his hair was just dyed.
He might have been up from NXT or something.
I don't
I'm
know
not
his
sure.
name, but I feel like I've recognized him before.
I know, but don't you think that's a little bit peculiar too? That they have a
what? That you didn't remember somebody? No, not at all.
No, don't bury him. I know what you meant, Ak. You're saying peculiar, like they're going to do like a Hebner, a twin referee thing or something? No? Okay. No, I'm wrong.
Right,
no,
so
but I like that. You're trying to make the save.
Okay.
Good job. You were hair late. I call you before you even opened your mouth.
Story of my life.
Shit.
Overall, I'm going to go 2.5 stars for this. Ollie, what did you give it?
2.
2? Hack?
Shit, I want to give it something good. 3.5.
3.5. Ty?
I don't like it. The Cody's ankle cell hurts me a lot, and the finish hurts me a lot in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, 0.
He's hey man, that's his rating.
Dude, the elf on the shelf over there is giving it more than a 0. Yo,
yeah, he's got no credibility.
Yo, and just so you people know, anybody that's listening, you got kids, do the elf on the shelf, move the thing every night when they go to bed. You'll see how great it is in the morning when they wake up.
You guys got some good spots worked out for the boys, Ollie?
Oh, we've had a couple so far.
Okay.
Oh, we've been doing them great, and he comes
Watching they pull out the drawer and the things are watching. The two elves are watching the iPad, and
Yeah.
Cole's like, "I'm not touching that, Uncle Ty. You get that."
Yeah, it was great. He comes down every morning. He's like, "Where are the elves at? Where are the elves at?" So, it's awesome.
Dude,
He
that
get a
thing's pretty
kick out of it.
good. Hey, I'm telling you, the elf on the shelf is worth it. And put it away in like a gallon bag so you can use it every year.
There you go, the elf on the shelf. What do you guys give the show overall for Saturday night's
Give the
main event?
shelf.
Where the
show.
hack on a sack? Yeah. Yeah, the elf on the shelf, hack on the sack. All right, we need to get a little hack
That's
done.
pretty freaking good.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
is
there
good.
you go.
Yeah, next year.
Oh, and instead of having the long arms, it's just my two balls that you put around something with Velcro on the end of each
Yeah, the
of them.
chestnuts on roasting on an open fire.
Yeah, make sure you leave out cigarettes and beer for hack on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, you can't do a can because the kid will know.
Yeah.
You gotta have a beer so they can look at it and see that it was halfway drinking.
All right, well, yeah, we're
Overall,
Can you imagine how drunk I would be if I was Santa after like 14 million houses? I'd be fucking buzzing,
I
dude.
think you'd be all right.
I would need some serious coke.
yeah, leave out a Budweiser and a
Mrs.
weed
would have been Missy Hyatt circa 1976.
There you go. Okay, what do you give the
That
show?
would have been Mrs. Claus.
Overall, for the show, I'm going to go just a 2 out of 5 to me. It wasn't anything special. It was cool seeing Jesse, but other than that, the show was just kind of there. Ollie, what do you give the show overall?
2.5.
2.5, okay. Hack?
I don't know. To me, it's easy. 3.5.
3.5.
Easy.
You enjoyed this one?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I enjoyed everything minus the main event. I got to give it a 3.5. I'm right there. I enjoyed everything else besides the main event. So,
Well, the finish to the main event. Well, I know you hate the ankle selling.
and,
Yeah, you know what? The rest of the match was the shits. What's
The rest of the match
shits
was-
when they did nothing?
but I can't even put any credence to the whole match when you're working the angle. Nothing you do the rest of the entire match means anything to me.
All right, Billy Gunn.
So,
All right. Guys, as always, send us in listener questions to sandmanpod@gmail.com. We got a bunch here that I'm going to run through. And please, I ask you guys this every week. Leave us your name as well as the town. That's all I ask for. You can ask Hack anything.
yeah, where are you coming from? We want to know because it makes it easier.
Up first.
Well, hold on. Did we put over our podcast guy? Or are we going to do that?
I'm going to wait for
t-shirt
that.
guy?
I'm going to wait for that, Hack. But thank you. That was a great call by you. But I'm going to wait for that with the toast of the week there.
He's got to put me over for something tonight because I've been such a moron. MJF. Who the hell was I talking about?
That was the Drew Mack match. You see it.
Dude, MJF he had a dreidel on the suit.
I love his suit
Dude, it was
jacket and everything, and I love the fake crying he was doing.
Yeah,
He was great.
It's freaking hilarious.
It was great. It was great, and I love him making fun of Cole for how he looked and everything. I thought that was really funny, and
Yeah, but it was a straight shoot about the size of him.
totally. I mean, it buried him a little bit, I would say, but I think it'll be fine.
I don't think people care.
Yeah. Up first here is Mike from New Haven, Connecticut.
What up, Mike?
Been a while since I've been in New
Mike.
Haven.
Hello, Hack Pack. I finally got around to reading Todd Gordon's book a few weeks back. Great stuff. Shout out to Todd. Some of the parts I enjoyed most were the pre-ECW lesser-known stories that ultimately took Todd in the direction of pro wrestling and led to the creation of ECW. If Hack were ever to decide to write his own book, what is one pre-ECW story he'd have to include that helped cement his love of pro wrestling and led to the Hack we all know and love today? Thanks, fellas, and an early Merry Hackmas to you all.
Well, there's no chance I could write a book because I don't remember shit in my career. So it would be like 20 chapters of my friends, and they would just tell you stupid stories of shit that I've done all over the planet. You know what I mean? But if in the preface of the book it would say I was a kid that was 5 years old, and on every Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock I was watching WWF wrestling, and I never wanted to be anything else in my life except a professional wrestler.
There you go, Mike. That's Hack's answer if he would write a book, but I think you could have a book in your Hack. I think you could actually.
I can't remember anything. Seriously?
Well, you can outsource it to everybody else.
Well, I know that. Well, I could do it, but it would be talk about ghostwriting. If anybody goes right this, Samuel Clemens is actually Mark Twain. Mark Twain's a pen name.
I didn't think we were going to get Samuel Clemens.
But I'm so correct, right?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
There you go. You got that right. There we go.
Hey, I got my one fact of the day I got off the calendar in. So I'm happy. Samuel Clemens.
Up next is Bob from Broomall.
Hi, Bobby.
Bobby always writes us in. Thank you, Bob. Shalom, Tosh, and Merry Christmas to Hack and his Seeds. That's how he started this off.
What does shalom mean? Like happy holidays?
I'm not sure what shalom
Oh my God!
is.
Seriously, what's your last name again?
We're not
Tosh?
doing this again. It's Tosh, and I'm not. No disrespect. I'm not Jewish. I'm Catholic. So.
I kind of say, sure, I've seen that on like
Nope.
directors, anybody in Hollywood. There's a lot of Toshes.
100% not Jewish, but no.
Daniel Tosh.
Daniel
What
Tosh.
are you?
I don't. I'm Catholic. Catholic. Yeah. I went to CCD and
Where are
everything.
your relatives from?
All over. I'm a mix of a lot of things: Scottish, German,
Maybe we're a lot of Scottish, German, Irish.
Irish, Hungarian, a lot of different things. But back to Bob's question here. Wishing you all a Merry Christmas and thank you all for the wonderful content.
Merry Christmas, Bob.
I was wondering if anyone else sees it the way I do. I was watching Saturday night's main event. I love the presentation and I love the feel of the show, but as soon as the bell rings, I'm quickly reminded as to why I don't enjoy WWE. Every match feels very formulaic and paint by the numbers. It's not the buffet of variety I enjoy on AEW. I know Cody and KO are capable of having a classic, but it always feels like they're leaving something on the table. Is it just me, and what do you think the problem is?
Okay, dude, you're doing a pretty goddamn good job. You know what you're talking about because you pretty much just encapsulated our last hour and a half.
Yes, he did. So
Yeah.
I agree, Bob.
Listen
good
up
job.
and you'll get your answer.
Yeah.
Pretty
Good job,
Yeah.
Bob. We're going to have you on as a guest soon.
And he said, may your stockings be filled with the best strains and good tequilas.
Hell yes. You
We
too,
got
Bob.
some nice strains the other day from the wrestling shop.
Cannot wait. Up next is Pat from Lowminster, Massachusetts.
All right, little mister.
Question for the gang. If y'all had all the money in the world, what is Hack's dream car and why? Love picking the
Not
hard...
dry.
Dude,
A 15-passenger van?
yeah, a Sandman van, dude. They know it.
Okay.
Dude, I don't care about cars. Actually, I don't even give a shit. Well, I don't even know what actually the name of the car I drive right now. I think it's a Hyundai or maybe a Toyota. Whatever the two companies that are getting ready to merge. But yeah, back in the day, I didn't even care. It was the Sandman van.
There you go.
That had 4 captain's chairs, 2 in the front, 2 in the middle, and then a bed in the back. That's how we used to travel. Me, Todd, Fonzie, Nancy, Scorpio. Back in the day, it was great.
Okay, the Sandman van. There you go. He also said, also a cool fact for Hack and Company. Did you know prior to Metallica's iconic 1991 self-titled album featuring Hack's theme, there is a Venice Beach punk...
Featuring what?
Your theme, enter Sandman.
Hack's theme.
Hack's theme. There's a Venice Beach punk thrash band called Excel who released a song in 1989 called Tapping Into the Emotional Void.
I love that song.
That's guitar riff sounds exactly familiar to Hack's theme, Enter the Sandman. Excel even considered suing Metallica in 91 but dropped it for obvious reasons. Little Fish versus Big Fish. I implore you guys to listen to this song and would love to hear everyone's opinions. We'll have to take a listen to it and see if it sounds like it to us. So,
Hold on. Now, if you really want to get into some steel and get into Led Zeppelin and how much they stole from the Louisiana Bayous music. back
so
then.
much
So
stuff.
much, dude.
Yeah, ton of stuff and everything. From Stairway to Heaven to like so many of their
All of
songs. Just do a YouTube search for that and you'll see like everything that they...
They've been sued so many times.
Yeah, they've really ripped off a lot of shit. But, I mean,
And
that's
didn't pay people that really deserved the money then.
absolute... Heck, that's some good knowledge by you right there. That's
Yeah,
some,
just
yep,
switch it
there you go. Owen from Wisconsin writes in,
Owen,
hey guys, Merry Christmas to you and the
how's the
family.
cheese?
I know
Merry Christmas, brother.
we talked about Steve Carino on the show a few times before.
Love Steve.
But someone that seems to get left out or forgotten, though he had a huge part in helping Carino become his character, was Jack Victory. I thought Jack Victory and Carino had hilarious promos in the dying days of the company and always popped me when he'd bring up a high spot in the promo. Does Hack have any Jack Victory stories, and what does he think of Victory's legacy in ECW? Thank you guys again for the show. We have to get you boys to Wisconsin for a meetup.
Jack, is this you? Are you just going under a pen name right here? Are you really Samuel Clemens here, Jack?
No, this is Owen.
Oh no, Jack. Jack was your Bobby Heenan. They didn't really give him a ton of voice, you know what I mean? But his physical actions of everything that he did meant something, you know what I mean? He was like the half-ass Corchester, but half-ass like security guard of Carino, you know what I mean? And Carino never took himself so seriously in his role anyway. Maybe in the back he did, but not when he came out into the crowd, you know what I mean? He knew the buffoonery of the situation, and that's what made it so good.
I love Jack Victory too, because like, you know, as a stooge, he wasn't like the Stevie stooge, but he also still like hit every one of his stooge spots perfectly. He was great heat for Carino, like really great heat.
Well, and you got to understand, he was in the business with Eddie Gilbert, like back in the mid '70s, and all those, Kevin Sullivan, all those people. You know what I mean? So he was trained. He grew up under the right tree.
Yeah, he really got it, and it really showed in his
And he's such an awesome guy.
Great dude.
Oh, awesome dude. Even to me as a kid, awesome dude.
Oh, that's awesome.
Jacko,
Yeah.
maybe everybody calls him.
Jacko.
Yeah, super cool dude.
Okay, that's awesome. Jack Victory, shouts out to Jack Victory. And shouts out to you, Owen. Big fan of the show. Thank
Always
you, Owen.
happy, that dude. Always had a smile on his face.
Awesome.
Even if he had to work with Steve. That meant it just sounded good.
Burying him, Steve
I
Carino.
set Steve up, but I didn't even mean to set Steve up because I always say shit like that to set people up. It's like you're skinny.
Next on the show.
And you got a good memory.
Up next on the show is Drummy from Bryan Street Tavern.
Hey!
Yo, Sandy and crew, happy Thong Thursday. He came you got him. You popped him with the Thong Thursday, Drummy.
Almost. I just took a sip of a drink and he said Thong Thursday. I almost spit that shit out.
Joey, that's freaking hilarious.
Holy
hey, the
shit.
last time I see Ty do something like that, I think it was Oliver's maybe 18th birthday. We're driving back from the strip club. Ty had a glass in his hand that he actually threw up next to me in the car. Didn't make any noise, whatever. And we pull up to I got pulled over right after this. What he did, when the kid threw up right next to me in the front seat, but had to be so quiet about it, so I wouldn't even notice.
Listen, I'm a foxhole guy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna get caught doing nothing.
There
So
you go.
I'm a good party man to have around.
There you go. There you go. Drummy writes in. Hope you guys are enjoying the Xmas season. What's your thoughts on this upcoming bowl season? And
Greatest thing ever in the history of America.
And what are some of your favorite bowls? I like the Irish to win it all, and my favorite bowl is the
that ain't happening.
Is the Boca Raton Bowl. Love you, buds. Let me know a time to meet me at the tavern. Okay.
All right, this is for Ollie. Ollie, who's winning everything? If you had to make a choice right now.
Go to somebody else for a minute. I
All right,
gotta look at
Ty?
the bracket.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I don't think Indiana's going anywhere. I don't think like Notre Dame's going. I think it's like it's really Texas, Georgia, and
Ohio State. Do you like it all or no?
I'm not so sure even about Ohio State, dude.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
They
really
don't
hard.
have the line.
It's gonna be really hard to beat Oregon.
Oregon? Yeah, why not Oregon?
Well,
It's gonna be
Yeah.
really hard to beat
Yeah,
Oregon.
but hasn't Oregon lost 6 guys already to the thing? People are leaving schools all over the place right now.
I can't imagine why you would enter the transfer portal being with Oregon.
Yeah, because there's other guys that are going to get more money than you.
There's
The
that
dude-
Nike money,
the
though.
dude from Washington turned down, I think, $3 million. He could go into the pros this year, but he turned down $3 million from who's the Washington quarterback? The guy that did great this year, whoever that is. He turned down $3 million from Washington to go into the portal today.
I did not hear that.
None of you guys know who Washington's quarterback
I don't.
is?
Washington stinks.
No.
I don't know
Yeah,
who
I
you're
don't
talking
know.
about.
I don't know.
Oh,
who
but
you're
this
talking
guy
about.
was good. I don't know. They said this guy was great. He had like 3,000.
Taking Georgia.
You're going Georgia. Okay.
All right, if we have, I'll go with Texas. They have,
Texas.
I think they have the easiest route.
Okay.
I am going to go with Oregon because they're going to be super hard to beat. I mean, offensively and defensively, they're just...
That doesn't mean anything.
That doesn't mean...
schedule.
But...
And they're not SEC.
But they're Big Ten, and they waxed everybody. That's their strength of schedule is awesome. Yeah, they're the most complete team to me. Texas is... Texas would have been my second pick, probably. Even though their quarterback is like super sketchy. I liked Ewers last year, but I don't know. This year's he hasn't been doing it, and Notre Dame may lose to Indiana. So sorry.
Notre Dame's got the worst loss of anybody.
That's
in the
why I said it. Like,
Northern Illinois at home.
Yeah, at home.
Yeah.
Like Indiana had the 105th hardest schedule.
Right.
Who knows? I don't know.
Notre Dame's was like 45th or something.
Dude,
like
and
that.
the thing is,
they're both done.
Dude, and the thing is, Penn State's got the best draw.
SMU.
They got SMU, and if they win, they play Boise.
That's what Chris was saying.
Yeah, and if they win, they play Boise. So like, if you're gonna play like lane, like the better teams might beat each other up in the first two games or whatever's going on. Penn State's kind of got an easy path.
Yeah, but Boise's going to hurt them in the run game.
I don't think so. Dude, the kid Genty...
I'll go Penn State, Drummy. How about that?
The kid Genty's nice. The kid Genty's real nice, but Penn State's defense, just their size is going to overmatch Boise, I think.
It's just cool that they're doing this playoff.
Oh, I love it.
Like
it's the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's awesome.
Too bad you scheduled us for the 21st down at the wrestling store, and we're going to miss the two best games of the night.
This guy's so... Oh, my God.
It's all a setup, baby.
Up next is Johnny from San Antonio.
Johnny!
Hey, Johnny.
Yo, guys, I can't tell you...
Go, Johnny. Go.
See if we can get it on the projector in the front.
We'll see, man. Maybe we'll see about that. What's up, boys? I can't tell you how hyped I am for that Sandman to drop. By the time this episode drops, the fine people down at Suplex Vintage should have one in the air on its way down to South Texas.
Hell yeah. Thanks, boy.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. So my question for Hack this week...
I don't think we got one big enough for Wemby, though.
I don't know
down
about
in
that.
San Antonio. I don't know if they got a Cinquinto XL over there, whatever.
Cinquinto.
So my question for Hack this week goes like this. With the way Saturday night's main event ended and the clips posted to social media, KO hit Cody with a package pile driver, and Cody sold it like the move disabled him. The same thing happened a few weeks back with Randy taking a pile driver. How do you feel about the importance on selling a move such as the pile driver, a move that has been quote-unquote banned in the WWE? Conversely, how do you feel about the spamming of moves like the Canadian Destroyer or Super Kick, and wrestlers no-selling those moves 5 to 10 times a match? As we wrap up the year, I just want to give you fellas your flowers and thank y'all for providing this platform weekly. And I'm looking forward to the 1-year anniversary of the Sandman Pod. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's, boys. Thank you, Johnny. I really appreciate that, man.
Johnny. Thanks for listening,
Merry Christmas, man.
Obviously, you're speaking our language because you hear the same shit that we all say. But specifically when it comes to the pile driver, they jumped the shark. When wasn't it Will Ospreay that took one from his boy from the apron like 2 weeks ago?
Fletcher.
Onto the top, you know what I mean? And then kicked out. Kicked out like 8 seconds later, you know what I'm saying? We're past that point. And yes, it was banned at one point for WWE that nobody could do it. And I don't think it's a believable spot anymore. I mean, to me, there's a lot of spots that aren't really believable spots anymore. That used to be, dude, a lariat, a clothesline used to be a finish. A body slam. I've seen Bruno Sammartino beat Ivan Koloff, Philadelphia Spectrum with a body slam.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've evolved moveset wise. So
yeah, I know, but the point is now...
Don't say moveset. CM Punk will get mad at you.
My bad.
Can anybody say that there's one move that is an absolute 1, 2, 3 you can't possibly kick out of it? Is there one in the business right now?
No, there's no move like that.
That one time you get it, you're done no matter what.
Tiger Driver?
3D?
3D's always been protected.
They did.
I thought what's-the-name's kicked out of that when the Young Guns match like a month or 6 weeks ago or something like that.
It's only when the Dudleys do it, okay?
Yeah, when the Dudleys do it, there's only one team that's kicked out.
The Undertaker Tombstone?
Triple H is kicked out. I mean, Michael's kicked out of it before. Yeah. I mean, people have kicked out of it, so that's not even like.
I know, but it's just funny that just like, but but
Yeah,
we're
but
all.
there's only certain people that get to do. You know what I'm saying?
Like the Stone Cold
protected.
Stunner.
It's not every match.
Rock's kicked out of that. People have kicked out of the stunner a million times.
Yeah, I'm just trying to throw shit out there.
There's
to
not.
think, like-
There's not one that I know of as like a stamp.
Not today.
Tiger Driver
I mean-
is the closest thing we have.
Yeah, all
The
right,
Mr. Sacco Mandible Claw.
that's a good one. That's actually a pretty good one because no, you don't got to do the you don't got to do that twice. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
like-
The pedigree, you didn't have to do that twice.
Well, Bray Wyatt, the Mandible Claw.
Stunner, you didn't have to do that twice.
But they did do a lot of stunners. If you go back and watch
I
those,
mean-
you haven't seen two mandible claw. Nobody's ever gotten out of the mandible claw. Ty's got a great idea.
I mean,
Not the Mr. Sacco, man.
probably 70% of the submissions should be automatic taps.
Yeah.
versus
They
moves.
finally got smartened up to the armbar.
I would rather see that than care necessarily about kicking out of the moves.
I'm with you on that too because we've watched 25 years of UFC now. We know when you get somebody in a leg move or an
specific
armbar or a
that's-
choke,
yeah.
like a choke
Done.
on, it's over right away.
Well, dude, if you notice it, they finally, like I said, smartened up. Like the Becky, like disarmer, she like kind of had to stop doing that because people were like rolling at it. It's like, dude, you get somebody in an armbar, like that's
where-
it. Like that's
Where is she?
Yeah,
like
she'll be coming back soon. She might be
Yeah.
on
Is
Netflix.
she have
pretty
a
soon.
baby
her
or
and
something?
Yeah, she might be.
her and Flair coming back for the Rumble.
Dude, her and Flair come back at the same time
For the
dude,
Rumble.
It's shit's gonna
Or
be
Netflix.
great.
I mean, there's going to be you got
shit's
or
gonna be
Netflix,
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't
I mean,
think
Even
about
if they're
that.
not ready, they can put them in a position to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Flair's
Just get 'em
gonna
on
be
screen.
ready or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Johnny, for always writing in as well.
Yeah, Johnny,
Merry
thanks.
Christmas,
Good
Johnny.
listener, brother.
Up next,
Bah humbug.
Fuck off.
Kevin from Dayton, Ohio writes in. Kevin, haven't heard from you in a couple weeks. But,
Yeah, it has been a couple
Yeah, it's
weeks.
been a couple weeks with that.
Loser.
bud.
I was asking about him last week or 2 weeks
Yeah.
ago.
Kevin writes in and asks, guys, I want to switch it up from wrestling this week. What are some of your favorite Christmas tunes? Does Hack have a specific Christmas carol that he sings? Anything that you guys love as Christmas songs?
The Grinch.
Never sung a Christmas carol in my life.
Hacky baby, give me another Budweiser.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
There you
Most
go.
horrible thing I ever heard.
That,
Do
I
you
was the
guys have a
voice of an
favorite-
angel.
Dude,
guys
I'm a
have-
total bah humbug. Here's the reason. You lie to your kids for 7, 8 years
No,
until
here
you
we go.
decide that you're willing to tell them that this fictitious fat dude that's around the same shape as Tosh is, but just has longer, whiter hair.
Are you
is
sure
the
it's not
guy-
Tosh?
Is
It's
the
the shape?
guy that goes down 57 million chimneys, and that's just in America in one night. So I don't like lying to your kids. That's why I don't like the holiday.
Okay, for me, I'm going to have to go. I'm a big Jingle Bell Rock guy. And let's go with Elvis. I'll have a blue Christmas
Oh my God, that was the worst.
without
freaking Elvis.
you.
Oh my! Although you look exactly like him when he died on the toilet.
Peanut butter and banana
Yeah,
sandwiches.
heavy as shit.
Fat Elvis stage. He's
I like the Grinch.
You like the Grinch?
Yeah,
Okay.
the Grinch is my favorite.
Ty, you got
Yeah,
any-
I'm like a jingle rock from like Mean Girls. I like that whole
I
situation.
can't believe anybody likes any of that shit.
No, well, just
I like
around this time. I'm not going to sit
Yeah.
there in July and be like, Jingle Bell.
Okay,
Yeah.
but when do you
Jingle
even
Bell,
hear these songs?
And Mariah
Now.
Carey, she's pretty.
I don't like that. I
on the
don't like-
radio?
Wait a minute, you listen to music on there and there's actually songs like you're listening to music when you're out there during the day?
Yeah, I can't listen to how awesome the Eagles are 24/7. So on sports radio, so sometimes I got to
So
turn
is
on.
is it like updated songs that people that are hip are doing them, or are you listening to fucking?
No, I'm listening to
Bojangles?
Tosh on the toilet say it's a blue Christmas
Without you.
just like the toilet that I crushed.
As always, send us in listener questions to sandmanpod@gmail.com. Next week on the show, guys, you're going to be getting that Suplex live Q&A that we're doing down there on the 21st. Cannot wait for you guys to hear this. I know it's going to be a fantastic show for you. And one note I want to make here really quick before we go to the Toast of the Week and the Cane of the Week. This is a special Toast of the Week to Grim a Philadelphia legend. He designed our very first T-shirt, our podcast T-shirt. Unfortunately, he suffered an accident at a concert on last Saturday night.
Dude, he did a stage dive without a helmet. Just tell him.
Okay, he did a stage dive off the stage and literally had a emergency brain and skull surgery. Thankfully,
because people didn't catch him. Like, what's his name? Didn't catch
Gunther.
Yeah, like Gunther didn't catch.
Dude, Grim has been on the mend. I've been
Grim.
I've been texting with him. He is on the mend. We do have a GoFundMe up for Grim that some friends of his in the community have been running. So I will throw it up on our social media. If you guys have any extra funds and want to donate, by all means, he is a person in need at a time like this. And we wish him
holiday
nothing but the
season,
best.
everything like that. We wish him well, Grim. Thank you for everything you've done with the T-shirt and stuff like that. Hope you get better.
Hope you get better, brother. We're all rooting for you, man. And I've already been texting with him, so he is certainly doing better, too, I can say. Hack, as always, the Kate of the Week and the Toast of the Week.
Only one. Toast of the Week, December 21st.
December 21st, Suplex. Toast of the Week. Okay. There you go, guys. As always,
Buy the shirt.
Buy the shirt, like, share, review, subscribe, and we will catch you next week.
Peace.